Hey, good evening, everyone. Futures Brizio here, and just kind of hanging out here on this Monday night. And just wanted to do a quick trade review from today. It is Monday, May 20th, 2024. Again, hope everybody had a great weekend, had a great first trading day of the week. And I'm doing this as a live stream, so if I sound a little distracted, it's because I'm trying to managed through this kind of only second time I've done this, and I did one the other day and I didn't have comments enabled, so there you go. So anyways, I'm trying to get this down as opposed to just doing pre-recorded videos. All right, so and also guys, make sure that you join the Discord channel. There should be a link in the description of this video. I really have not marketed it very well, and so I'm really trying to hopefully build more interest in that. So please like and subscribe to the channel if you're just finding it for the first time as well. And if you do happen to join the live stream, make sure you say hi and drop a comment. I am trying to keep an eye on that. So with that being said, let's just move on to a few of the trades I took today. Overall, it was a pretty good day. You know, for a Monday, there was a little volatility, not awesome, but there definitely was some. And next Monday is a holiday in the U.S., Memorial Day, so I do expect that by Friday the market will be pretty quiet, and then obviously it'll be closed. Futures market will be closed here in the U.S. next week on Monday. So anyways, but until then, hopefully we can get some good setups, and we'll see what happens. All right, so first thing we're going to look at here is copper, and you can see I took two trades here in copper today, and you can see this is the 5-minute chart, and just took this right off the line chart, and basically we had copper has been going up, up, up. It's really just been popping up really high here, and so today we had a breakdown. We made this high and then we started trading down, and we had this level down here, which initially I was kind of looking at a potential demand level where price really shot up to make this last high, and so I did not trade any of this on the way down. In fact, I'm not even sure what time this occurred. Yeah, I wasn't on the charts at this time, which is why I didn't trade it. And I came to the charts here around, this is about 7 o'clock a.m. New York time, which is when I came to the charts. And I saw that this was trending down. I saw we had already broken structure level up here and, made this lower high right here. And so I saw price chopping around at this level, and I said, I'm just going to take a trade here. It was a low risk trade. I just jumped in. I had my stop loss just above here, and traded it down to the next liquidity area, which I felt was down here, where price had last kind of consolidated. And you can see that's about where price came to, and then it started reversing back to the upside. And so I did take another small trade heading back into what I thought would be a supply zone up here that made this previous low right here. So I traded up there. You can see it was a pretty small trade, only about half the size of the first one, but it still wasn't bad. And and honestly, although price did go a little further, it just pretty much chopped around the rest of the day. So I do have this arrow here because I was trying to figure out what was this going to do next. So we'll see whether this is actually a supply zone and we're going to continue the downtrend tomorrow, or whether we're going to bounce off of this area here and continue this longer term uptrend. So there could definitely be some more potential for copper going into tomorrow. Again, whether we resume the uptrend or whether this ends up being just basically a retest of this resistance supply zone up here, and we end up heading lower. So but they had those two trades in copper, and then over in gold, we had a couple of trades, 3 trades here in gold. One of them was basically a break even. The other 2 were kind of small winners. So we had this one here again. Came to the charts. This was at about 8 o'clock this morning. and we had already been trending down through the overnight session. Again, we had this last swing high right here, went up, made this high, then we broke structure right about here. Price came up, failed to make a new low, and again, I wasn't on the charts. This was in the middle of the night, so unfortunately, but this was a great lower high put in here, and then price just broke down. And then by the time I came into the charts here, I did take this one small push down off of this demand area, off this little swing here, which I think I took off a shorter time frame, just on a little pullback. I just jumped in, took a quick scalp, and then I tried to go short again here, but you can see I closed it almost immediately because I felt like this thing was putting in a higher low, which it did, and so I just quickly cut that one off. And then this area down here where this low got put in was kind of a nice previous kind of demand zone off to the left here. So when I saw this sharp pullback and this higher low put in, I did jump into a long position here, and you can see it did come back up here, and then I kind of missed the peak here. I wasn't home, but I did close it out again for another, basically another short profit there, scalp. So there was that one. And then, as far as what I expect going forward, again, gold has been, pretty much, turn off all this trade history just to not make the chart so messy. Gold has been pretty much, in a tear to the upside here. But it's possible here that we're going to, continue down at least for a period of time, because you can see what happens here if you look at the higher time frame. You can see we broke this structure level, came down, we've now come back up, retested it. And so it's potential here now that we will just, see this continue to the downside, and, at least maybe come back to a deeper liquidity pool, potentially, over in this area right here, maybe somewhere down in here, where there's deeper liquidity. Yeah, so... But again, it's been in an uptrend, so you never want to fight that. But this does, at least as of tonight, looks pretty bearish. Again, I'll be asleep during the overnight session, so I'm not sure what this is going to do. So I'll check it out when I get up tomorrow and see where we're at. I don't like to trade these overnight sessions. I mean, the market's open. I could trade it right now, and I could sell it right here, and I suppose I could do that, but. I just, at night, it's kind of the retail session, the volume and the liquidity and the volatility is very low at night. And it doesn't always translate to the morning once kind of the European session starts up and these things start to actually build some volume. So, we'll see, but that's kind of how I feel about it right now. All right, and then last but not least, I have this one trade in natural gas. Again, has also been really in a tear lately, and so we had this move up. I saw this choppy movement down here, and as soon as I saw it kind of rallying out of here, I just decided it was a good time to get in, almost like a trend line break right here. We had this kind of three wave corrective move down, but I felt like as long as price was staying above this last area over here, which it did, I felt like the uptrend was intact. And it has now, it did run up and make this high, and then I closed it. It did try to run up and made another little new high here. But that's about all it did for the day. So, in terms of next move, I have this rectangle drawn in here that possibly, we could see something like, some sort of retest back into this zone, kind of retest this breakout area, and then another move higher. We'll see. Again, that may or may not happen during the overnight session, but, again, my certainly my bias, as you can see here on the hourly chart on natural gas, is to remain bullish for as long as we hold these swings. And this right now is the current swing low. This one, if we go up and make another new high from here, then that swing low probably would move to here. But pretty much as long as we're maintaining these higher highs and higher lows, then we just keep the bullish bias going on this asset. So those are the trades I took today. I did not trade ES or NQ today. We did have a push up here. This was right at the New York Open at 9:30. We had this push right up here, kind of blasted right up here, and then has now came all the way back down and potentially retesting this area. So we'll see if this is just kind of like a retest zone, like right in here, and we'll see what we do tomorrow. But potentially again, this was just basically we had this break higher, kind of rocketed out of that area, and we needed to come back and fill that, and then potentially go back up. So that is a potential look right there. And again, overnight session tonight, so I don't really take too much into account there. And same thing here, pretty much. Now again, the NASDAQ looks a little different, but not all that much different. Again, we had this big move out right here, and then we've just kind of went sideways. Now again, this is different than the ES, which on the ES we've come all the way back down to the origin of this break higher. On the NQ we have not. Here's that same area, same time on the NQ, and we did not. So what is this going to do? Is this going to, tomorrow come all the way down, and retest this zone somewhere and then break higher? Or, what's it going to do? Or are we just going to see a shallow retracement and then continue move higher? Very interesting. These two have diverged a little bit lately in terms of their patterns. They're usually pretty close, but this is a pretty big difference. And again, I didn't trade this, but this certainly was the move to trade right out of the gate. But this only lasted, basically this uptrend lasted about 2.5 hours, or 3.5 hours up to here, and then that was it. It came back down and then just went sideways the rest of the day. But really quite a stark difference between the ES and the NQ in terms of how it looks right at the moment, when you consider this breakout area, and that, we've just kind of moved around up here. So it'll be interesting to see what the NQ does tomorrow. Will there be a potential shorting opportunity back down into this demand area here? Or again, will we just make a shallow retrace and then make the move higher on strong buying? And, at the same time, will the ES be a great buying setup if this area holds? Potentially what we see a lot of times are liquidity sweeps, where price will break just a little bit out of this area, and then China sucks people in to go short underneath this zone, and you'll quickly see price reverse. So is that a possibility here, where we'll see a liquidity sweep at some point in the morning, and then this thing will turn and go back up, and that'll be a really interesting thing to watch. In fact, one of these, trying to see which one it was here, had a liquidity sweep. Yeah, it was right here. So I have this line here. So on I think this was it, on copper, we put in this low here, price chopped around, okay, started trying to move back higher, then it swept the liquidity down here and then moved higher. So this is very common. Again, breakout traders, now this is a short time frame, but breakout traders trying to short this below here. As soon as they see it, they go short, and then they immediately get trapped in this move to send it back higher again. Okay, so that's very common, and I think that's the market that it was. And we also kind of saw it here on natural gas. We saw price poke up right here. Okay, you can see it poked up right here, and then it came down. So then people say, okay, three-wave move down, 1, 2, 3, ABC down. Price starts to rally back up again, and then it just comes down. It sweeps this liquidity right here, try to trap the breakout traders right here. And this is actually a better example than copper. So right down, breaks up, people say, okay, uptrend's resuming, jump in, put your stop right here. Price come down, bang, knocks out all these stop orders sitting here. And then on top of that, you have sell stop orders or market orders to go short right here. And they all jump in there, and then they're immediately trapped. And so this is very common, these liquidity grabs and sweeps of liquidity, depending what you want to call them. But whatever you want to call it, they're very common. They do happen. Okay, so this is kind of a liquidity sweep, and price moved higher, and then that's it. And just kind of continued the uptrend. So it really helps us to kind of watch these market structure areas and just kind of be able to look at like what's going on. So when we see something like this, where price kind of rallied out, made a new high, and then it's going to come back, and it's going to retest somewhere. In this case, it didn't come all the way back down to the origin here, but it basically came back to this area right here. This previous area of resistance now turned into support. And if we turn on the candlestick chart, you can see that right there. If I just grab the crosshair, you can look at this swing low and then over to here, how they all line up. Okay, so the market grabbed some liquidity and some orders right here and shot it back up. It did not come all the way back down into here. Okay, so at some point we may have to revisit this whole area down here. Okay, even though I show this as a potential liquidity zone for price to revisit tomorrow and then go back up, we also could see something like this where price has to come all the way down and re-challenge this area down here before it rallies back. Okay, so if this area right here, let me get rid of this line and get rid of this one just to clean up the chart a little bit, and we'll get rid of this one too. If this area right here doesn't hold tomorrow, all right, and we see price break below this zone, okay, then I actually would be looking for a deeper break back down into this area to kind of re-challenge this zone. So we could see price, come down into here and then go back up. But if this doesn't hold and we break lower, then my next target would be somewhere again back around these lows, to kind of come back and mitigate that area and then go back higher. So that's kind of what I'm looking for tomorrow on this particular asset. And we'll kind of see what happens here. Okay, because we haven't mitigated this area yet either. So we have this area right here where price shot out of today. We might have to revisit this, but we never mitigated this area down here either. So we might actually have to come deeper. So it'll be interesting to see, we trade down into here and then watch what it does. Does it shoot back up from here, or do we get like a little liquidity sweep back above here and then it shoots lower? If it goes back higher, great. Then, the uptrend's resuming. Look for longs. If it breaks through here, then my next area of interest again would be back down here at this old breakout area right here that caused this move up, which has not been revisited yet. Okay. So that's kind of my analysis with NG. So I'll be seeing how that shakes out tomorrow. And if we go back just now to copper, you can see we could potentially have put in that swing high right here, and now moving back, for more downside, because again earlier today we broke the we broke this market structure to the upside. Certainly once it broke through here, come back now and potentially heading lower right here. All right, and may have to come back and revisit this area again. So, and actually there's an area to revisit all the way back down here. You can see if we turn on the candlesticks, we had this sharp move out of this zone. All right, price did come back and revisit this area already. You can see this breakout came down, retested, but we still have this area way down here. Okay, so we potentially could see this thing come all the way back down here and revisit this zone if this downtrend is going to continue. All right, so yeah, I kind of actually really like this right now. So although I don't usually do anything, I think I, might, take this trade, to the long side, to the short side here, and just, kind of see what this thing does. So, um, yeah, because it could keep going here. So I just took a short here, and I'm gonna put my stop back up here, and I'm gonna target this area back down here, and just above this zone right here, and we'll see what happens. So it's about a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. All right, so there you go, real-time trade. And then over here in gold, kind of looking the same way, right? Looks very similar to copper. I don't know if there's anything going on with metals. But again, we had this new high put in. We broke this major structure here, came all the way down, broke through multiple structures today, rallied back up to this previous breakout right here. Right, this is where it broke structure. Price came all the way back to here, and now looks like potentially heading lower again. And again, on this one, if we look to see what a good potential is for a breakout area or for a target area, I would say a good initial target would probably be down right here. You can see this breakout right here. All right, is a really good area that has not been revisited. This was a good zone right here, but this has already been mitigated. So we'll see now if this one wants to continue down into this zone. So, all right. So anyways, guys, I'm going to leave it there, and, we'll check back in tomorrow on both of these and, see how they worked out, and then see what else is going on. So again, guys, questions, comments, please leave them down below. And make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and subscribe to the Discord channel. It's free. The link should be in the description. And I hope you guys have a great rest of the night, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. All right, take care.